Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another Baddies Gone Wild review, so let's just get right into it. So this episode picks up where the last one left off, where Natalie has these girls meeting up with her so that they can do some type of activity, and so they put the girls on two separate sprinters, okay? And they purposely put people together on sprinters who they knew didn't like each other and had some type of beef, because they ended up putting Oxy on a bus with, Gloss Up and a couple of the other girls that were part of moving Jaden and Shay's bed in the previous episode. So Gloss Up and Oxy start going back and forth on the sprinter because Oxy feels some type of way about them taking the bed. She felt like it was weak for multiple girls to come into the room just to gang up on two people. And then she also has an issue with the beds being taken because she's been sleeping in those beds with Jaden and Shay, so she feels some type of way. And all the girls were telling Oxy that she needs to stay out of it because it didn't have anything to do with her and they weren't trying to target her by taking Shay and Jaden's beds. And I don't understand why they don't get that. Even if they didn't mean to target her, they did target her because she slept in those beds, so she was affected by those beds being moved. So I didn't really understand what part of that they weren't understanding. But Gloss Up starts asking Oxy what she's going to do about it if she has an issue with it, and so Oxy feels like she's being called out by Gloss Up, so the two of them start fighting with each other. And look, I will say that it was kind of weird watching them fight because they were in the sprinters. Gloss Up was in the back seat, Oxy was in the front seat, but I'm sorry, I'm going to give the win to Oxy because she was catching Gloss Up, okay? Gloss Up had her head down and all she was doing was grabbing Oxy, so Oxy definitely ended up winning that fight between the two of them. And look, Gloss Up ended up going live the other day and saying that her and Oxy planned that fight on the bus, and so she doesn't understand why people are hyping it up. And it's like, girl, even if you did plan the fight with Oxy, she still won the fight, and at the end of the day, she still had a reason to be upset because you guys did go in the room, gang up on two people, and took the beds that she was sleeping in with two other girls. So at the end of the day, even if they did plan to fight, it doesn't take away from the situation. And then on the other sprinter, Coco keeps trying to fight Jaden because Jaden confronted her about unlocking the door when she heard the other girls saying that they were going to come in and take her luggage. I don't really like Coco. I don't know her personally, so when I say I don't like her, I'm not talking about her personally. I'm talking about her on the show so far. I'm just really not feeling her because she has all this smoke for Jaden but isn't doing anything about Daisy, who messed up her eye. It just seems like these girls are ganging up on Jaden because what exactly did Jaden do for everybody to have an issue with her? Like, I'm really confused about it. I mean, I feel like Jaden had a reason to be upset with Coco. I mean, Jaden did open the door herself at first and let them in and they took the beds. But then when she heard them talking about taking her luggage and she locked the door, Coco getting up and unlocking the door after seeing what just happened was a little bit shady to me. So then they end up getting off the sprinters and they end up getting on these different types of vehicles so that they can go see some animals when they meet up with Natalie. And they get into these vehicles so that they can ride through and see the animals, and they end up seating Jaden on the same vehicle as people that she has problems with. They put her next to Coco and TT, people that came in the room and took her bed, okay? And Coco starts with Jaden once again, okay? One of the girls ended up saying that it smelled like pee where they were, and that's when Coco said that it was Jaden. And I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised at how bold Jaden was because she ended up getting up and attempting to swing on Coco. Now, Coco did kick her back, so she didn't actually get to hit Coco, but I did think that it was funny that she got up and tried to swing because I didn't know that she had that in her. It seemed like she just would wait for somebody to try to fight her, but no, she got up and she tried to swing. But then when Jaden sat back down, Coco gets up and she runs over there to try to swing on Jaden. Security ends up breaking it up, and Jaden was kicking Coco back. Like, she was kicking her a lot, like knocking her out of the way, which she did the right thing because at the end of the day, I think Jaden knows that she can't fight, so the way to defend herself is probably going to be kicking these girls. And TT claims that she ended up getting kicked, but then when they showed the replay of Jaden kicking Coco back, I didn't see TT get kicked. I just feel like TT was looking for a reason to fight Jaden, and that's weird to me. I think TT's just looking for people to fight at this point because she had no reason to try to go at Jaden like that. She didn't even have any beef with Jaden, so I don't even know why she was one of the girls that went in the room and started moving the beds, because at the end of the day, she didn't like that Daisy ended up coming in her room trying to take her bed, so why would you go in somebody else's room and take theirs? That was stupid to me, and I'm not feeling TT either. Honestly, I thought I was gonna like TT, but I don't like her at all. She runs over there and tries to swing on Jaden, and security immediately scoops Jaden up and they take her off the vehicle. She shouldn't have been put on that vehicle with all those girls that didn't like her in the first place. Then when Hurricane M sees that Jaden got taken off the other bus, then she starts saying that they better not put her on her bus because she's gonna end up fighting her because Jaden lies a lot. And one of the girls ended up asking Hurricane M something that I've been wondering. She ended up asking Hurricane M if she knows Jaden in real life. And she said no, she doesn't know Jaden in real life. They're both from Texas and she only met her one time in person. So if you only met her one time in person 2 years ago, why do you have so many issues and so much beef with this girl? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So Hurricane M is another one of those girls that I'm not really feeling. She did too much in last week's episode and now she's doing too much in this week's episode. Trying to get a storyline off of Jaden knowing that she can beat her doesn't make any sense. Then Oxy and Ming end up getting into it on the bus that they're on because Ming was basically going at Oxy when the camera stopped rolling in last week's episode because Oxy was complaining that they took the beds out of Jaden and Shay's room and it's a bed that she slept in. And basically Oxy is saying that Ming told her that if she wants her bed, she needs to fight for it, and basically was telling Oxy that she needed that from her, but she didn't actually end up fighting Oxy. So Oxy ends up confronting Ming when they're on the bus on their way to see the animals, and she starts asking Ming if she wants to fight since she was acting like she wanted to fight the other day. And it was clear to me that Ming did not want any smoke with Oxy. I think she was scared, and I don't know why Ming keeps saying that she's so small and tiny and everybody's bullying her because she's not that damn small and tiny. A lot of the girls on this show are kind of small, so I don't know where she's getting that from. Oxy takes a water bottle that she had in her hand and she chucks it at Ming's head, okay? Like, she takes that water bottle and she throws it at Ming's head and it looked like it hit her hard, okay? And one of the other girls that were on the bus said that it hit her really hard. So I was surprised that Ming just sat there and didn't do anything, because if somebody would have did that to me, we would have had to fight. Ming's sitting there talking about Oxy's trying to use her for a storyline because Oxy's been boring the last few episodes, and I don't think that Oxy has been boring. I think nobody tried her, so she wasn't just going to create a fake beef with somebody, and now that people are trying her, now she's stepping out of her shell a little bit. I don't think that's her looking for a storyline. And I did get a little bit of a chuckle out of Oxy saying that Ming is using Nicki Minaj as a storyline, and that is true, because if she wasn't Nicki Minaj's sister, would they really have put her on this show? I really don't think so. Ming starts calling everybody a bully, saying that everybody's trying to bully her, and I really don't think she knows what the meaning of a bully actually is, because it's actually her and her friends that are bullying people on the show, and so I don't understand where she's getting that idea from. And I think she probably knows now that people don't see her as a victim of bullying, because a lot of fans have been making it really clear that they don't like the way that Ming has been acting on the show the last couple of episodes. And Jaden is cute to me, okay, because you can tell she's not a fighter. She seems like a really sweet girl. I don't know if she's sweet, I'm just judging her off of what I see on the show, but she seems really sweet and not a fighter. And so when she got put back on the bus and she tried to jump at TT like she was gonna fight her, I laughed a little bit because I did think it was kind of cute. Like, you can tell that girl's not a fighter, and if she did fight TT, I know she would have lost, but the fact that she was willing to just shows that she's not as scary as people keep saying she is. But they were waiting outside in these vehicles for quite some time, waiting to go inside to see the animals, but they never actually ended up able to go inside. Now, I don't know if it's because something happened and they couldn't get inside, or the people wouldn't let them come inside because they were fighting too much and they were a little bit too hyper to be going and see the animals, but I don't know, it was a complete waste of time. But then Natalie is going off calling somebody a bunch of bitches, and she's standing up on top of a car and she's going off saying that she was recorded, and she's talking to Janelle's, like she's yelling at Janelle, saying that Janelle's was recording behind the scenes stuff and she was recording Natalie, and production ended up seeing a bunch of recordings in her phone of behind the scenes stuff for the show. And Janelle's did admit in her confessional that she was recording behind the scenes stuff that she wasn't supposed to be recording, so she did admit to that, so she did take accountability for that. I feel like Natalie handled this situation wrong. Yeah, she was not supposed to be recording behind the scenes stuff for this show, because we know what happens, people leak it and then things get really messy, so I understand why she was upset about that. However, the way she handled it was completely wrong. Like, she could have called a house meeting or something and told Janelle's, look, we know that you've been recording behind the scenes stuff, but you cannot do that no more. The next time you're caught doing that, either the phones have to be taken away or you're gonna have to go home. I feel like she could have handled it like that instead of calling the girl out of her name. And then Daisy runs up on Janelle's and starts fighting her because they might get their phones taken away, and I just thought that was weird how Daisy just ran up to fight Janelle's like that. It's almost like she wasn't fighting her over the phones. It was like she was trying to prove herself to Natalie, and that's why she fought Janelle's. She didn't whoop Janelle's though the way that I thought she was going to. Yeah, she got some hits in on Janelle's, but Janelle's was able to keep her head up and keep her face away from Daisy so that Daisy couldn't really hit her like that, so Daisy really didn't do much. Then Shay ends up coming out of nowhere and she starts fighting Janelle's over the phone situation, and I didn't think it was necessary. However, In the last few episodes, Janelle's kept bringing up the fact that Shay said she had an issue with the internet girls getting picked before the audition picks. Janelle's kept bringing that up continuously and egging on that conversation the last few episodes, so I'll give Shay a pass for fighting Janelle's over the phone situation. Then TT starts jumping up, running around saying that she wants to fight Jaden, and she starts fighting Jaden, okay? She really didn't do much to Jaden. Jaden kind of fell back a little bit because TT was holding onto her hood. I don't understand why Jaden thought it was a good idea to fight in a hoodie, but it's really not, because people can use your hoodie as leverage in a fight. But TT wasn't swinging on Jaden. Like, she really didn't catch her in any hits or anything like that. TT was just grabbing onto Jaden's hood, and Jaden was pulling onto TT's hair and shirt, so neither one of them was really doing anything in that fight. That fight was lame. Then Rella starts coming at Erica for no reason, saying that Erica should have had Janelle's back when she just fought two people because she wanted to have her back in the previous episode. And I was confused by that, because it's like, why are you calling this girl out? She's not doing anything to you. That was weird to me, the way that Rella was coming at Erica. And Erica kept telling Rella that she did not want to fight her. She kept saying, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight you. They pressed her to fight Rella, so she ran up on Rella and she cracked her in her head with this battery pack that she had. It was like this little hard battery thing that she was holding in her hand. I don't know if it was a battery. I really don't know what it was, but I was really surprised that Erica, she seems really sweet and quiet, and it doesn't look like she can fight, but she was working Rella a little bit in that fight. And I'm just gonna say, I don't agree with her using anything to hit somebody with, but at the end of the day, the girl literally told you she didn't want to fight you and you kept pressing her for it, so she got what she got. I don't agree with her using anything to hit somebody with, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna give the win to Erica. And while they're fighting, Daisy ends up jumping in, swinging on Erica, and I didn't understand why she got involved, because it's like, girl, you've been yelling in Rella's face every single episode. Now all of a sudden you want to have her back because she got hit with something. Like, it looks like Daisy is a bully and she just wants to have a moment, because she seems to always be getting involved in stuff that doesn't have anything to do with her. And now Gloss Up wants to fight Erica because of the way that she hit Rella with that battery pack that she had in her hand. So Erica and Gloss Up start fighting, and Erica was handling Gloss Up. Like, Gloss Up cannot fight the way that I thought she was going to be able to. When I saw that she was on the cast, I was like, oh, she's going to be whooping them, but no, she has not been. This episode really showed me that she's not that good of a fighter. So then Shay ended up trying to clarify who threw the peanuts at her when they were taking the beds out the room, because apparently Shay is saying that she's allergic to peanuts, and they tell her that it was Gloss Up that threw the peanuts and it was all her idea. So she wants to fight Gloss Up. So her and Gloss Up square up, okay? And Shay surprised me. Like, she was whooping Gloss Up. Like, I'm not gonna say she just really beat her up, but she definitely won that fight with Gloss Up, and Gloss Up kind of fell forward, like face first, and that's when Shay was kind of dragging her across the dirt a little bit. Like, she was getting Gloss Up. Gloss Up definitely surprised me in this episode with the way she was fighting, because she definitely lost every fight she had in this episode. And look, Shay had a reason to fight her, because if I'm allergic to something and you put that shit next to me, you're trying to kill me at this point, so I'm definitely gonna fight you. So that was justified to me. Then Daisy sees that Bahati is sitting to the side by herself, and she goes over there with Coco to try to clarify what happened, because Coco ended up telling Daisy that Bahati told her that Daisy said that Coco was copping pleased with her at the table and she didn't want to fight her again because she messed up her eye. And Bahati's saying that she did not say that, okay? Bahati said that she told Coco that she herself felt like, you know, Coco was copping pleased with Daisy, not that Daisy said that Coco was copping pleased. And Coco tried to say, oh, it's the same thing, it's the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. You're saying that she's saying Daisy said you were copping pleased, when really she's the one that said that she felt like you were copping pleased. So why are you lying? It seems like she just wanted Daisy to end up fighting Bahati because she doesn't like her. And Daisy allowed Coco to put a battery in her back because she starts going off on Bahati for no reason, and Bahati's staying calm because she's confused as to why Daisy's believing Coco over her when they've been cool with each other. And now Daisy is saying that Bahati's not going to get her protection anymore, when Bahati never asked Daisy for her protection, and it seems like Bahati can handle herself. She doesn't win every fight that she has, but she still gets in there and fights for herself, so I don't really understand what Daisy was talking about. Then Daisy is in Bahati's face telling her that she's the big dog in the house, and that if she wants somebody to go home, they're going home, and she runs the house, and Coco's just standing there like a dumbass. Like, so you're just gonna let her say that she runs the house and she runs you, and you're just gonna stand there and watch her do it? It seems like Bahati was right and you were copping pleased because you didn't want to fight Daisy again. Then Daisy keeps putting her hands in Bahati's face, and Bahati is smacking her hand down, telling her to get her hand out of her face, because why is Daisy acting like that? Bahati didn't even get crazy with her, so I was confused about that. So then Bahati and Daisy start swinging on each other, like they start fighting with each other, and Bahati is keeping up, and she ends up catching Daisy right in the face. I don't know which part of the face that she hit Daisy in, but wherever she hit her hard enough enough to make her bleed, because Daisy was definitely bleeding a little bit. And I think she was surprised that Bahati was able to handle herself like that. And then security was holding Daisy back and they were pulling, you know, Bahati back. And Bahati starts kicking Daisy up her butt. Like, I got a real kiki out of that because that was funny to me. Like, why was she kicking Daisy up her butt like that? Like, she just kept kicking her. And then I saw on Facebook that somebody ended up screenshotting her kicking her in the ass. I just thought that whole thing was funny. I will say that my MVB for this week, I voted for Bahati and I voted for Erica and I voted for Shay too, because the way that she handled Gloss Up for throwing those peanuts at her. So I voted for 3 people this week. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.